Hey, and welcome back. In this video I'm going to mount the engine mount to the firewall. And so I've got my engine mount, I've got the screws that go with it. Here's the screws that actually mount the engine to the engine mount. Won't need those, that'll probably be in the next video. We'll see. I've got the 4 screws and the 4 washers and the engine mount and some thread lock. I picked this up at my local big box hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, something like that. It's called Permatex Blue Thread Lock. Okay, you can get thread lock of any size and shape, but use the blue kind. Got my tools. Also, I'm going to take this 1mm drill on my pin vise and go ahead and make sure that the 4 holes are open. Nothing's going to block the screwing those in, because there was some tape on there, and I don't want those to be blocked. Okay, so let me get set up. I got one more thing I want to get, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and one of the things you probably guessed by now is I test mounted this to see if there's any problems with it, and there was. What I found was if the tank is pushed all the way forward, so that the front of the fuel tank is sticking out here, you know, 1/8 of an inch or maybe a little more, then when you go to screw these in, these hit the tank. You don't like that. First off, I'm going to see if I can find a shorter screw, because I don't like a screw that's going to be touching the tank because of vibration. So I'll be back in a minute to see if I can find the same screw, but you know, a couple of millimeters shorter, so it won't touch the tank. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and here's what I found. Although the instructions over here say when you mount in the firewall, this picture right here on page 11 says that the screws are 4mm by 20. Well, guess what? They're not 4mm by 20. They're size 632 English size, SAE size, and not metric. And they're 3/4 of an inch. And that 3/4 of an inch touches the tank, and so I don't like that. And I want the tank all the way forward. So I took a 632 size bolt that I have, because I have a collection of bolts, and I took the 5/8 length and not the 3/4 inch length. So that extra 1/8 of an inch allowed me to screw it in, and it fit. So let me get set up, and I'll show you how that works. And by the way, just to prove, this nut came from the 632 box, and I have a 4mm nut, and it doesn't work. So this is definitely a 632 SAE size, SAE English size bolt. The other nice thing is, instead of the Phillips screwdriver, these come with the hex. And by the way, the hex is for a 632 bolt is this size, 7/64. And I like these dynamite tools. You've probably seen me use them before. And so if you don't have a 7/64, some of the common sets don't have the 7/64 in it. But if you look carefully, you can either find an individual one like this from Tower Hobbies, or if you get a set, make sure it has a 7/64 size Allen wrench in it. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so here we go. I got the first bolt in there, and I'm going to put the 3 tubes through there. Almost forgot. Before you do that, you want to put your thread lock in first. So I'm going to get my blue thread lock, and I'm going to touch the end of the, let me see if I can do this with you seeing it, maybe this way. Okay, so I'm going to hold it upright like this, and then just drop some drops in the hole. Okay, just like that. And kind of a bit of a blue run there, so let me get a paper towel. I'll be right back. Okay, now that the thread lock is in the hole, I'm going to go ahead and mount this up. I'm going to start all 4 of them and then tighten them down. And with the hex head bolt, it makes it a whole lot simpler. And remember, do this by hand because you don't want to cross thread. So I'll get all 4 started, and then tighten them up. Didn't put my cap back on my blue thread lock. Don't want it to dry out. Okay, so the 3 lines are in the middle of the engine mount. Okay, I'm going to tighten these down pretty good, although you don't want them so tight that they can never get them out. The thread lock, the blue thread lock is allows you to take them back out, especially if you have a hex head. You'll get it out. The issue is going to be if you do try to take these out. I don't think I ever will, but if you do try to take these out, it is possible that you'll actually move the blind nut, and that can be a problem. Not so much of a problem because the tank is not glued in, so the tank is removable, and I would have that tank more secure if this was a 3D or acrobatic aircraft, but it's not. So now I'm going to tighten all 4 of these down with an equal amount of pressure, and the blue thread lock should hold it. Okay, so now that that's on, I'm going to take my green line here, run it back through the side of the aircraft fuselage here, and put the little stopper back in. So my green fill line is where it should be, and that way when I go to mount the engine, that green line is out of the way. Okay, so engine mount is installed, and I guess next will be mounting the engine.